You're listening to Acoustic Songs Live, and here we are from WNJR Studios in Washington, Pennsylvania. We have Kalyna Rakel, and she's been traveling around the country in her newly remade van, and she stopped by here to play a few songs for us. How are you doing, Kalyna?
I'm doing great.
Cool.
Thank you for having me here today. I'm really excited to be on the show.
Oh, I'm glad to have you.
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about, and usually I ask artists to dig in and play a song right off the top. What do you want to do?
Yeah, sure. I'll play a song. I'll start off with a song with a really funny story.
Okay.
I was playing on the streets in Paris, and I met this guy, and he went for a job interview at a bank, and he decided, he didn't get the job, and so he decided to be a pimp.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a true story. And I really didn't agree with his career choice, and I wrote a song about it, and it's called Please Don't Sell Those Girls.
Yeah, banks and pimps, they're kind of the same thing.
Yeah, they both make a lot of money, I guess.
Yeah, all right.
But, yeah, people seem to like this song, so here it goes. It's off of my Joanne album. Here it goes. Baby, it's hard in these times to make a buck without committing a crime. Those pimps and that money may tempt you, but you know this game will come back to haunt you. Those girls, they running round in dark alleys. Now tell me what you'd do if you were their daddy. Please don't sell those girls for money. This conversation's over, honey. What would you do if you were their daddy? I know this world ain't no sunshine and roses, but do you want to contribute to the pain and overdoses? Pills and powders numb their reality. So is this how you justify your salary? Those broken girls are somebody's daughter, so could you treat them as if you were their father? Please don't sell those girls for money. This conversation's over, honey. What would you do if you were their daddy? Now please don't sell those girls for money. This conversation's over, honey. What would you do if you were their daddy? I said, what would you do if you were their daddy? Please don't say it's gonna happen anyway. If we all said that, we'd all be bad. Now I'm not here to tell you what to do, babe. What you choose is always up to you, babe. But I know you know this business ain't right. Bad dreams you have, they keep you up at night. Those girls, they could grow up to be mamas. Now would you want the kids to not know their papa? Please don't sell those girls for money. This conversation's over, honey. What would you do if you were their daddy? Now please don't sell those girls for money. This conversation's over, honey. What would you do if you were their daddy? I said, what would you do if you were their daddy?
Cool. Really nice.
Thank you so much.
It has a, like a kind of Tin Pan Alley jazz feeling to it,
Yeah.
like another time and place.
Yeah, I really always loved like old jazz, so that's been a big influence for me, is like the old kind of jazzy stuff. I always have that kind of element in my music, I think.
Yeah, gypsy jazz.
Yeah, I love gypsy jazz.
Okay. So,
Actually, I'm actually playing a brand new guitar that I just got, and the one I had before I named Django after Django Reinhardt.
there you go.
I love gypsy jazz. It's like so good.
Well, that's just pick that up, you know,
Yeah.
from that. Just hearing that one song. So you're doing it. You're doing it. The you have a really interesting story about your trip to Europe that I was reading, and
Yeah.
why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened then? You traveled over. When was this?
This was in 2012, so it was a few years ago now, and I always wanted to travel, and I got really sick for a few years, and like I wasn't able to do much, and so I just started eating really clean and just getting better naturally, and finally when I got better, I just decided to like drop my life and everything that I was doing, and that I, start doing everything that I wanted to do that I couldn't do. And so I basically just quit my job, and I sold everything, and I went to Europe. And I was there for 3 months, and I was like, before this, I was in such a dark place that I kind of like had, I think, a little bit of a death wish, so I wasn't afraid of anything.
Oh no.
And so I was just like, but it was really cool because I was totally open to everything that happened, and I was like, all right, let's just live a total adventure and not be afraid of anything. And so I went to Europe, and when I got there, I lost my money and my passport and everything, and so I was surviving off of very, very little, and
Wow.
And just being open to the people and the experiences and everything around me, and I met the most amazing people, and like definitely slept in some interesting places like lighthouses and beaches and streets and construction sites and wherever I could find a dry place to sleep. And
So did you have a destination in mind when you first went over, or did you just go?
I didn't have any plan, nothing. I just went there and hoped for the best. I was just kind of trying to find myself again, and just seeing what I think and what I thought of the world behind like everything that I've learned. Just put everything aside and start with a clean slate and just watch the world pretty much, and just live like a little mouse on the street, like not really seen or noticed or anything, just watch everything that's happening and try to survive. And
Yeah.
it was really life-changing for me, and it brought me back into music again. I had done music before this. I was really into the really pop and everything, and this definitely, I kept running into these musicians and these amazing kind of gypsy musicians in Paris I met, and they took me in and let me stay at their place and everything, and they were all like amazingly talented musicians, and it just so happened that I showed up in Paris like the day before this big music festival that they have in the streets on June 21st, and they have it every year, and I didn't even know about it, but basically I met these musicians, and they were part of the festival and everything, and they took me in, and they let me play with them in the festival and all that, and like it was really cool. And like a lot of the time I was like, I felt like I was Forrest Gump or something, just like being open and just falling into the right place at the right time, and just being one with whatever is bigger is going on out there, like. And
So you had your guitar with you, though. I mean, like when you lost everything, did you still have your guitar, or?
This was before I even started playing guitar. So I had played like piano, and I had written songs just like, and to piano and stuff, and I hadn't really been doing music anymore, and this totally brought me back into music. And so when I came back from this trip, yes, I survived.
Did you busk on the street, or how did you?
Well, that was
before you
during that time. I was literally like surviving off of little pieces of candy and stuff. Like, I wasn't barely eating and, like...
Yeah.
But then when I got back, my mom had some more gray hairs, I think. No. But I started playing guitar. And I was always a little bit afraid of guitar because I thought, for some reason, I had this fear and I thought that I couldn't do it and I couldn't play it. And I was, like, kind of afraid of it. And then I just, like, I don't know why, though. And then I just decided to start playing it nonstop. And I learned off of YouTube and I just kept, like, playing everywhere I went. I'd go into grocery stores and I'd still be playing. My mom would be so annoyed with me. But it was, yeah, definitely put in the hours and started writing a lot of songs because guitar is so, it just felt really expressive and I just could write a lot with the guitar. And so...
Well, I mean, you play like you've been playing for a long time, but that's only been a few years from what you know.
Yeah, it's
like,
been 3 years now.
Yeah.
So,
You
thank
obviously
you.
have been studying real hard and practicing and doing that. It sounds like you've been playing jazz for, you know, like the chords that you pick, you know, it's very jazz oriented, you know, kind of feeling.
Thank you. Yeah, I just learned basically the different shapes, and then I just started putting things together, like what sounded cool. And most of the time, I don't know what I'm playing, but it sounds cool. Like, I know the basic chords and stuff. Cool. And but
in case you just joined us, we have Kalyna Rakel here in the studio, and she's from Toronto, and currently touring the East Coast, right? I mean, pretty much. I haven't seen where you're planning to go, but traveling around America, playing a bunch of radio stations, right? I think I've seen you played quite a few radio stations.
Yeah, a bunch of radios, yeah.
Cool. So in case you just joined us, you're listening to Acoustic Songs Live, and we are here at WNJR Studios in Washington, Pennsylvania, and broadcast at 91.7 FM and stream at WNJR.org. Kalyna, do you want to do another tune for us?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, great.
I'll play a little love song this time. And I actually wrote this one in, like, the Boston area.
Okay.
And it's called Fly. And a lot of people like this song, too. It's off of the my Win Me Back album.
Okay.
Love is like a rainbow, showing colors after a storm. After we fight, I feel like I know you even more. Love is like a butterfly. First it looks like compromise, but over time it can fly. Then its beauty catches your eyes. I hope you and me will be together again in the end. But right now I gotta fly, but I love you till the day that I die. Love is like a dove sent from God above, comes into view and makes you smile, then flies away, and it's not enough. I'm sure gonna miss your kiss and all your happiness. So when I come back, I hope we can be just like this. I hope you and me will be together again in the end. But right now I gotta fly, but I love you till the day that I die. La 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 la. should. I hope you and me will be together again in the end. But right now I gotta fly. But I love you till the day that I die. I hope you and me will be together again in the end. But right now I gotta fly. But I love you till the day that I die. La 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 I love you till the day that I die.
Really cool, really nice song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I feel when I listen to it, like I'm just transported to another time period. You know, it has that kind of like I'm listening on a '78 record. You know,
Oh,
like
that's so cool.
It's scratchy kind of.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I love that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I love about listening to old jazz is it takes me into a whole other world. Like, it's like a romantic world, you know? Like, I don't know, there's something about it that's just so appealing to me.
Yeah, and most of the pop music that's out there, you know, nowadays is just so technically overproduced and formulaic, and you know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like real instruments, and like there's something really soothing about them, like the guitar, you know, just strumming the strings on guitar. It's just, it makes me feel so calm inside, and I mean, I haven't really found that as much with like electronic kind of music. Like I don't know. Maybe, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I really like the real instruments, and just, you know, it's soothing for me.
So I mentioned that you were traveling around the country, and when you got in touch with me about playing on the show, I had took a look at your YouTube page. I usually go. I want to know, you know, what an artist sounds like when they play live.
Yeah.
Since it's a live show, I get a lot of submissions that folks have made CDs, and they'll put a video up, and it will, you know, be a video to the recorded track from a CD, you know, type of thing.
Yeah.
And I wanted, you know, I want to see what it sounds like to hear somebody play live. And then, and then I met Daisy. Yeah.
And she doesn't play an instrument at all.
No, Daisy.
Yes,
you know, tell some folks about, and it's your brother. Is it Levi?
My brother Levi.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought I remembered it right. Okay.
Yeah. He's probably listening right now, so shout out to him and my mom. And Daisy, yes, that's my new adopted sister.
Okay.
And I just got her this summer. She cost me $3,000, and I got her, and she's, okay, I'll spill the beans. She's a van.
Yeah, I was going to say, we probably should tell, like,
I know.
$3,000.
I like to keep people waiting, the suspense.
She costs $3,000. Oh, this is a really purebred dog, animal, horse. Hope it's not a person.
A really good breed. Yeah, no. The breed is GMC Safari, 1998.
It was a cargo van, right?
Yeah, it was a worker cargo van, but it was actually used for a school board, because it still had the Toronto District School Board logo on it. It's kind of faded away, but yeah, so they took really good care of it, I guess, because it was like a school vehicle. And so they didn't put a lot of miles on it. And so I was like, and my brother's a mechanic, good thing, because without that, I would have had like problems trying to find the right van. I looked at so many, and it was like a dream of mine that was just waiting to happen. And finally, I couldn't believe the day when I got this van. And so I basically built it up inside like a little home on wheels.
Yeah, well, your brother is a handy guy, but you ended up doing a lot of the work yourself. From what
Yes.
I watched, all the videos, all the
Yeah.
the complete reconstruction, and it's just amazing if everybody can, if you want to really, if you are like that kind of thing, like DIY stuff
Yeah.
from YouTube. I love
Me
watching.
too.
Thank God for YouTube for
I
fixing
know.
stuff, for making stuff. I mean, it's just a
You can learn
great
how to build a
resource.
house off of YouTube.
Everything.
Crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool.
So, did you like get ideas from looking online at different things, or
Yeah, that's right. I looked up a lot of videos. I watched this one guy's video series of him and his friend building a van. Like, there were like 20 episodes or something, and I watched, like, they made a lot of details, and I mean, they explained a lot of details and stuff and things to look out for, and like, so I basically just learned off of YouTube, and my brother was helping me at first, and then he was working on he has a motorbike too, so he was working on that, and he kind of got sick of the whole thing. He's like, you can learn by yourself, it's good for you to know how to do it and stuff, and he's like, if you have any questions, just ask me, but it's good for you to do it. And I was like, yeah, you're right, and I like doing this, and it became like a passion of mine as well. I actually really like building now, and I'd like to build my own like tiny house one day or something. It'd be really cool. But for now, I got the van, and it's great because it takes me wherever I want to go, and yeah, I mean, there was a lot of trial and error. I made a lot of mistakes. I had a lot of blonde moments.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the in the video. You
Yeah.
referred to that as, and I think it was when you were putting in the water system, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
goodness.
thing.
I changed it like 3 times or something, that whole setup there. The shelving unit. Yeah.
Yeah, but you did it. I mean, really thrifty. Like,
Yeah.
you'd find a mirror and then
Yeah.
like use the mirror in there,
Yeah.
and
And sometimes I would find things, and like just in case I would use them, and then I didn't end up needing them, or like, but I was always just like scavenging around, and like I went on this site that's like Craigslist, but it's called Kijiji. I think it's only in Canada. I'm not sure if it's
Gotcha.
here, but and I found these shipping crates on there, free wood.
oh yeah,
And
okay.
so I built the bed out of that, and some of the shelving unit as well. And it's light wood, and it was like perfect, just what I needed. Because you have to think when you're building a van that you want to keep it lightweight as well, because then it's just more gas the heavier it is. So
True. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, everything worked out really well, and I painted the inside all like ocean view, and
Yeah, I saw. That's really
the
cool.
sky on the ceiling. Yeah.
So,
It's funny.
if anybody wants to see this, go to Kalyna Rakel's website, and that's KalynaRakel. Now, let me say that again. KalynaRakel. And you can get to her YouTube video site and check it out. It's really, really pretty cool. I was just amazed, living vicarious. I wanted to do that for a while, like have a little mini contained touring thing, because
Yeah.
mine's mostly I'll throw stuff in the back of my 99 Subaru Outback, and flip the seats down and have my equipment and then
Yeah.
go to a gig. But it would be really cool to be able to just pull over at a rest stop and kick back and sleep for a while, and
Yeah.
not have to worry about, you have your little self-contained space there.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
nice too. After a gig or something, you just like,
really tired at the end, you just go in the back and lay down and have
Yeah.
a little nap or whatever, and it's like your little home.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Well, this is a good time of year. I imagine in summertime it would probably would have to keep the AC going all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect right now. We're actually planning on going south over to we're going to try to make it to the West Coast, but we'll see. We're just taking it one day at a time. And so I think we're going to head to Nashville and then over to the California area.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, you want to play another tune?
Sure, yeah, I'd love
cool.
to. I'd love to.
All right. What are you going to do for us?
I'll play an upbeat one off of the Win Me Back album, and it's called Missing You. And anyone who's listening, if you want to dance, feel free to dance.
All right.
Here it goes. I just feel numb to those guys knocking on my door. I'm not the same single girl that I was before. I'm missing you. I'm missing you. Yeah, other guys just wanna jump me. You see me when I'm silly, and all those other guys can understand me. I just feel numb to those guys knocking on my door. I'm not the same single girl that I was before. I'm missing you. I'm missing you. Yeah, I just feel numb to those guys knocking on my door. I'm not the same single girl that I was before. I'm missing you. I'm missing you. Yeah, ba 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 ba.
Very cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
I was just looking over. You put out 3 CDs in
Yeah.
a
In 2 years.
short period of time.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, actually, basically how it happened, okay, from my trip after Europe, I started playing guitar, and then I was writing like crazy. I went to Hawaii and got more stories out of that. And then I had a dream when I was in Hawaii that that I was singing this song, and I can't remember what the song was or anything. And all I saw was light, and I was just singing the song, and it was like heaven. I was just like so happy just singing. And I knew when I woke up, I was repeating this line in my head. I was saying, "This is all I want to do. This is all I want to do. This is all I want to do." And so I knew since then, like, because I was wondering, I was kind of drifting around, traveling, like, with nothing, and just kind of, like, trying to find myself, and that dream just made it clear for me, and I was like, this is what I have to do, and I just want to sing, that's it, like, do music, and so the next day I booked my flight home, and I recorded an album on my own, just on my computer, on GarageBand, and it's called Red Shoes, the album.
Okay. Yeah, I was
And,
looking at that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was when I was still like fresh on guitar and everything, and I was just determined to like make something that I can sell when I'm playing live, and so I did that, and then the following year, a childhood friend, family friend, he has a studio, and I've recorded with him before when I was younger, and he came around, and he was going through a hard time, and he was like, I really want to do music again, and let's record together, and I was like, sure, and so we ended up making the Win Me Back album, and then from there I actually went to Europe again for 6 months, and I was signed to a new label, and it was just like for a single. So I did a single with them, and it's called King. And then I was like playing all over Europe, just busking on the streets and stuff. And then I came back and I made the Joanne album with my friend again. And then recently, just this past summer, I met some other musicians and people, really talented, amazing artists. And so I actually made another album this past summer.
Wow.
That isn't released yet, but I'm coming out with it like as soon as the artwork's done. And so it's going to be out really soon, and I'm really excited for this one. It's going to be really different from what I've done before, and like really interesting, fresh and new production, and so I'm excited for it. And I was working with some really talented people, and I'm thankful for everyone that's like helped me out with everything, and it's I'm just really thankful. It's been like a roller coaster ride since that dream, and so
wow,
I'm just happy.
I think you're doing the right thing, because it's definitely you have the natural ability and obviously the drive to do it within a 3-4 year period of time. You put out a CD basically every year, and you'll have to make sure you get that CD to us so we can hear it then.
Definitely, absolutely.
So in case you just joined us, you're listening to Acoustic Songs Live from WNJR Studios in Washington, Pennsylvania at 91.7 FM, and we stream live at WNJR.org. And we have Kalyna Rakel here in the studio from Toronto, and she's playing some songs for us. And make sure you go to her website. That's Kalynarakel.com, Kalyna Rakel. And come to acousticsongs.com if you want to see a video of her performance on the show. Next week, I'll have that up on the website. And we also have the podcast available on iTunes. It's on archive.org, and we put it on PRX radio to share with other radio stations out there that want to possibly pick it up. So your tour, your van tour that you started out, it looks like you've been winding your way down from Boston, New York, across Pennsylvania, and then you said you're heading south to probably Nashville, and where everything's warm and
Yeah.
just get away from the snow.
Follow the sun.
The snowbird van tour, right?
Yeah, it was so funny, actually, when I was crossing the border into the States, because I've been spending a lot of time in the States because my boyfriend is American, so now they're starting to hassle me at the border, and because they're like, why do you keep coming over here? And so this time I came with the van. They're like, that's actually a really cool van. But they were like, so how long are you staying over here though? Like, what's the deal? I'm like, oh, I'm just following the sun, I'm playing my music and following the sun. And they're like, okay, but that's like for old people with weak bones, not for like a young person like you that can handle the winter. You should be in school or working or something. I'm like, well, sorry, I'm like living in the 60s still.
That's cool.
But yeah, no, they let me in, so I'm really happy about that. I love this country. It's great. You guys get nice warm weather too, and
yeah.
It's not like, Canada, we don't have the option to have warm weather in the winter time, so.
Have you been to California, like Southern California?
When I was younger, I've been to San Diego, and it was so beautiful. Like, we looked out over the horizon one morning, and it was all moving from dolphins, and they were all jumping, hundreds of them. It was so beautiful. And I've been to Santa Monica for a week, and it was really beautiful there. I love the beach, so it was really
I think
nice.
you seem like you'd be really at home in California.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the place, when you say the 60s and all that kind of vibe, the laid back West Coast kind of thing. It's definitely much more laid back on the West Coast than it is on the East Coast,
Yeah, it's really beautiful over there. Just the beaches and how it's sunny all the time. I love that. And so it would be nice to end up over there sometime.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And your boyfriend is here. He's filming for for your website, right?
Yeah.
And tell me your name. I'm sorry again.
Sam.
Sam is here. He's filming, and he's accompanying Kalyna around the. What part? Where are you from in America?
From Boston area.
Oh, okay, cool. So, that's cool. And Sam is having a journey and a great adventure here too. I would imagine. Done that kind of thing. Like, come on, Sam, let's hit the road.
Yeah, he's had to put up with a lot of random things that I do.
Finding cats in Walmart parking lots.
Oh my goodness, yeah. To name one of them, the other night we found a cat. We were parked at a Walmart parking lot, and there was a little kitty that went by. This was up in Mansfield, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And the poor thing was limping, and she was all dirty and skinny, and Sam gave her his sandwich, and she ate the whole thing. So we're like, oh man, she's really hungry. And so we got some more food for her, and she came back to us the next morning, and so we were like, what do we do with this cat? We can't leave her. And so we took her to this little vet place, and they were a shelter as well, but they were like, we're full of cats. We have way too many. We can't take another one. But they gave us all this food and kitty litter and a little bed for her and little toys and everything. They were so sweet. And so we have a cat in the van now.
Did you name her?
We did. We named her Penny because we found her in Pennsylvania, so it's like Pen.
Oh.
And she has some copper on her, and so she's like a penny.
Oh,
she's like a
okay.
lucky penny we found.
Okay,
so
cool.
That
cool.
name suits her.
Penny. Hopefully
Penny the cat.
Hopefully Penny finds the litter box, and the van doesn't all of a sudden start.
I know,
What's
that's
that
the thing.
Yeah,
I was like, I can't deal with it if it's starts stinking in here. But she's such a good cat. She's so calm, and we'll be going over big bumps in the van, and she's just fine, chilling. And then last night, we had the little kitty litter box, and I heard a meow, and she poked her head through the curtain. I was like, oh, maybe she wants to cuddle. And then she came through, and I knew she was looking for a spot to go to the bathroom. And so I put her at the front, and she went right in the box, and she was good to go. I'm like, wow, I don't even have to train you. You're awesome. Just keep that up.
That's cool.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, we have a dog, and we had 4 cats. We started out with 1 cat when we moved into the farmhouse that we live in, and that became my wife bringing home a Siamese kitten from next door that was like, oh, can we have this? Oh, it's like, well, remember I wanted a dog, and if I can have a dog, then we can have another cat because I'm allergic. So, and so we got another cat, and then weren't very watchful about letting her out. And at 6 months, she got pregnant with have kittens. So, in a matter of a year, we had 3 more cats.
Wow.
And then she ran away. She totally abandoned her kids and took off. We don't know where she is.
Why do they do that?
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, she just and she doesn't like other cats. She didn't like other cats. She would always hiss at them and get really, really in a bad mood.
Wow.
We think she's somewhere in the neighborhood, but
well, maybe it's the cat we have.
No, she's a couple years old now.
We stole
but
your cat.
Yeah, and she'll probably turn up this winter sometime. Like, hey, I've just been nearby.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're constant amusement. The one will come in only to just to use the litter box. I haven't figured that out yet, Only uses the litter box to go into the bathroom, but, then has to go back outside and
That's
in and
so
out,
funny.
In case you're listening to us, so we have Kalyna Rakel here on Acoustic Songs Live. And Kalyna, do you want to do another tune for us?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Everybody asks me about if I ever do cover songs, and so, yes, I do. I don't do many, but I mostly just write songs. But I really like playing "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," so
okay.
I'll play that one for you.
Okay,
now.
great. Yeah.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, in a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles smell like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops, is where you find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly over the rainbow. Why, then why can't I? Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles smell like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops. That's where you find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why, then why can't I?
Wow, I want to applaud. That was really, really good.
Thank you.
What a beautiful version.
Thank
And
you so much.
So expressive and yeah, really nice song. Wow.
I love that song. It brings me so much peace, and I always, when I'm at home, I play it for my mom too, and she falls asleep to it.
Well, I'll have to make sure I give you the audio from the show so you can sync it up to your video that you have there, because
For sure.
hearing it over the headphones is a
nice.
different thing, you when you hear it, you're going to go like, oh, I didn't know it sounded that good.
Cool, that's great. Yeah, you get the whole, every little intonation, I guess.
Yeah, those
That's
and sibilants and everything, it really, really sounded great.
Thank you.
And Kalyna Rakel that was her version of "Somewhere Over the Rainbow,"
Yeah.
which I still, you have that kind of Billie Holiday kind of quality to your voice, but it's and then you step out, and then there's this other part that's kind of like all your own, you know what I mean? It's like this. It's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I started from imitating all these old jazz singers. Like, I would imitate Billie Holiday, Nina Simone, like Peggy Lee, Ella Fitzgerald, and so I think my own voice kind of developed from that, and I kind of found my voice from all of these amazing singers. And I actually started this whole persona. Like, when I started getting back into music again, I called myself Bobby Bo, and I pretended like I was from back in the 40s or whatever, and I sang all the old jazz standards at this little bar every Saturday night. It was like this little empty bar.
Oh, yeah?
I think it was run by the Russian mafia or something, but
Really?
yeah.
In
in
Toronto?
In Toronto, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would dress up like Bobby Bo, and I was this alter ego, and I would put on a whole act and everything, and then sing all the old jazz standards, and it was really fun. And so I think Kalyna kind of came out of Bobby Bo, and I found myself through her. So, yeah.
I'm actually watching right now What Happened, Miss Simone, the documentary on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. It's a great
Did you see that?
documentary. Yeah, I
Okay.
did. Yeah. It's crazy.
And maybe it was just the time period when I grew up that, I don't know, I was, a kid during that time period when in the 60s. And so I didn't really hear, I know my parents probably, especially my dad, because he loves jazz. I know he probably knew all about her, but I don't know why she kind of stepped out of the whole spotlight back in the late 60s and
Yeah.
stopped. I think she just kind of stopped playing.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know. I've heard references to her activism and all that kind of stuff, but I really didn't know until I started watching that documentary. I'm like, oh my God, this is such an amazing story.
Yeah.
This classically trained Juilliard pianist playing at Atlantic City, just like you were like playing these jazz kind of gigs, singing torch songs kind of thing going on. And only reason that she started singing was the guy said, hey, if you want to keep the gig, you're going to have to sing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a crazy story. I mean, like, going through everything that she went through with, like, racism and all of that, like, made me cry, like how she would be performing a song and her parents weren't even allowed to sit at the front seats because of what color they were. And yeah, it was just crazy time, that we lived in, and it wasn't even that long ago. It's crazy. And
yeah,
but she's very, like, she moves me a lot with her music and her voice and everything. Like, I love that song that she sings, Wild as the Wind. That's, like, one of my favorite songs. It's really beautiful. It's I'm not
familiar with it. I'm gonna have to look at it now. Listen to it now.
That one, like, gives me the chills every single time. It's like, it's so, really moves me.
Yeah. So the plan is to head to Nashville and out to the West Coast, then play some more stops along the way. If you have any upcoming gigs that you would like people to know about, that you have right now, of, share it with us. Or if I did go to the website and I was trying to get an idea, because I know it's not on there right now, so you're kind of like
I know.
loosely kind of flying.
I try to find gigs along the way, but I've been mostly playing in the streets. And but any gigs that I do get, I definitely will post them on the website. And
cool.
So you can find them on there, KalynaRakel.com, KalynaRakel.com. And I'll post everything on there. And
if you have Nashville's such a cool city.
I've never been there yet, but I'm really excited to go.
There's like the Bluebird Cafe is kind of like the songwriter, country songwriter kind of place to go.
I've heard of that place. Bluebird Cafe.
But there's so many other places. In Nashville. There's any night. There's a singer-songwriter night anywhere. There's multiple ones everywhere that you can go to. I heard a songwriter down there say that, songwriter. It's like the songwriters. It's where the inmates get to run the asylum, because songwriters actually run the industry, because
cool.
Pretty much it's like a songwriter town, because artists, country artists or just artists, will record songs by people that write them, and any night you go out, there's just music everywhere, any kind. Cool. I used to think it was like just country,
that's what I always thought too, but it's like apparently a big scene for like everything, and singer-songwriter is huge there. So you'll if you can make it to Memphis too, that's another really cool. It's the other side of the state, and Austin, Texas, the other singer-songwriter kind of mecca. That's cool. I'll have to go there too.
So that's I keep wanting to do like the band or the tour thing. I'm definitely going down through the Delta and heading to Austin. I have a lot of my singer-songwriter friends that will do that Kerrville Folk Festival every year. They've been doing it for like 20, 30 years. They've been going to that. So we have about enough time for another song if you want to play something for us to kind of take us out. I've really enjoyed having you here.
Me too.
You and Sam, and good luck and safe travels to you. And I'm sure you're going to have a awesome adventure. Take lots of like, I feel like I sound like a parent here now. Take lots of pictures. post them on the website. You know,
Yeah, I promise.
call your mom every day, make sure
Yeah.
everything's cool.
I just called her yesterday, actually. So
Yeah, I have
keep
5.
checking in with her.
I have 5 kids, so I'm like,
Oh,
prepare
okay.
myself. I'm like, okay. My
Yeah.
daughter went to New York City for the first time after graduating from college and stayed in New York, and she's back home this weekend from college. But
Yeah.
going to New York City by herself when she was 8, or with her
Scary.
friend 18, and staying in
Yeah.
a Airbnb.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
So it
It's a
happened.
big city. It's a
Yeah.
scary place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. Okay, Kalyna,
Alright.
what do you want to play for us?
I actually thought of playing a song off of the album Yet to Come. It's coming out really soon, so I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. This
Cool.
song is called Getting to Know Myself, and it's just about like the struggles of my past, and if you ever make mistakes in life, just learn from them. Don't judge yourself too harshly. Let it go, and yeah, get to know yourself. So here it goes. Questions led me to the other side of what I knew wasn't good for me, but I was fed up with this life. I was sick and I was scared, no longer a child anymore. I saw the world for what it was, and I just let it consume my soul. But it hurt me worse to see my mama cry. I was just getting to know myself. I was getting to know myself. I was a bird who tried to test what I was told. I was just getting to know myself. I was getting to know myself, but I was afraid of what these choices might unfold. So after reasoning the state of my affairs, trading bright light for the dark night and all its superficial care, the wasted souls and false illusions everywhere, the thought of giving up my future made me scared. So instead of fitting out, I chose to fit within. I was just getting to know myself. I was getting to know myself. I was a bird who tried to test what I was told. I was just getting to know myself. I was getting to know myself, but I was afraid of what these choices might unfold. Oh, I was just getting to know myself. I was getting to know myself. I was a bird who tried to test what I was told. I was just getting to know myself. I was getting to know myself, but I was afraid of what these choices might unfold. Oh,
This is